Things an avoidant does when they love you, but can't say it. When an avoidant loves you, it doesn't look like the fairy tales you grew up hearing. There are no grand gestures, no open confessions under the rain, no desperate texts at 2 a.m. saying, "I miss you." Instead, their love comes in whispers, in hesitation, in carefully calculated presence. It's love delivered in quiet, cautious packaging, wrapped in distance, tied with fear, and sealed with subtlety. But don't be fooled by the silence. When an avoidant person falls in love, it's not that they don't feel deeply, it's that they feel so much, it terrifies them. They've spent a lifetime training themselves to stay safe by staying distant. So when love shows up, real and undeniable, it challenges everything they've built to protect themselves. And that's when they start to show you, softly, indirectly, but unmistakably, that they care. One of the first things an avoidant does when they love you is they stay. This may sound simple, but for someone wired to pull away from closeness, staying is a radical act. Avoidants are often overwhelmed by intimacy. They need space like oxygen. But if they love you, they won't completely disappear when things get emotional. They may step back temporarily, needing time to regulate their own discomfort, but they'll circle back. They'll find quiet ways to remain part of your world. Checking in, sending a neutral message, or just being near without making demands. To an avoidant, the act of remaining connected, even inconsistently, is often their version of saying, "You matter to me." Another sign is how they start letting you into their routine. Avoidants are highly protective of their personal space, both physically and emotionally. But when love seeps in, they start sharing the edges of their life. You'll notice they mention things they've never told anyone else. A childhood memory, a personal insecurity, a moment of vulnerability. They might invite you to places that matter to them, not romantic dinners, but maybe their favorite coffee shop or a walk they take when they need to think. These invitations are loaded with meaning. They're not just sharing time, they're sharing access. And for someone who spent years building emotional walls, that's a sign of deep affection. Avoidants also show love by doing things for you rather than with you. Because direct emotional expression feels unsafe to them, they often express affection through acts of service. Maybe they fix something in your house, remember your favorite snack, or silently anticipate what you need before you ask. These are their love notes. They may not sit you down and say, "I love you," but they'll drive across town to help you with something small, and they'll act like it's no big deal. But it is. It's their way of being close without saying too much. Because for them, actions are safer than words. Words can be misread, misused, or rejected. But actions, they're quiet, dependable, and safe. Another thing avoidants do when they love you is they listen. Not just politely, but deeply. They remember things. The way you like your coffee, the story you told about your grandfather, that offhand comment you made weeks ago about something you needed. They may not react with excitement or even reply with warmth in the moment, but you'll see the evidence later. They're watching. Not in a controlling way, but in a reverent one. Because when an avoidant loves you, they're constantly trying to understand you from a safe emotional distance. Their listening becomes a form of intimacy, a way to feel close to you without feeling exposed themselves. But here's something even more telling. They get uncomfortable around you. That's right. Love makes them awkward, not because they don't feel it, but because they do, and they don't know how to handle it. They might become clumsy with their words, overly quiet, or even appear distant at times. You might start to wonder if they're losing interest. But what's really happening is this. Their emotions are rising, and they're trying to contain them without losing control. Avoidants fear engulfment, being swallowed up by emotional needs, theirs or yours. So when they're falling in love, they don't always lean in. Sometimes they lean back to breathe. That pause, that silence, that weird emotional retreat. It's not the absence of love, it's them processing the immensity of what they feel. You'll also notice how protective they become. Not possessive, protective. If you're hurting, they'll show up in quiet ways. They may not hold you and tell you everything will be okay, but they'll try to fix it. They'll research solutions, offer practical help, tell you what steps to take. To an avoidant, love is about helping you feel strong, not vulnerable. because they don't yet know how to sit in pain without trying to fix it. Their instinct is to make the discomfort go away, not because they don't care, but because caring too much scares them. So if they start helping you solve problems, giving you tools, making things easier, that's their way of saying, "I'm with you." There's another deeply emotional gesture they make when in love. They apologize. Avoidants don't like admitting they're wrong. It threatens their autonomy, their sense of control. But when they love someone, they slowly begin to recognize the impact of their emotional distance. And if they care enough, they'll try, awkwardly, imperfectly, to take responsibility. The apology may not be poetic. It might sound more like, "I didn't mean to shut down," or "I just needed space, but I wasn't trying to hurt you." That's huge, because it means they're risking the very vulnerability they've spent years avoiding for you. When an avoidant loves you, they also struggle with jealousy, but they don't show it the way others do. They may become cold, sarcastic, or strangely indifferent if they feel you're pulling away. They won't say, "I'm scared of losing you," but their energy will shift. This jealousy isn't about control, it's about fear. Fear of not being needed, fear of being replaced, fear of being close to someone who might leave. So they push you away before you can walk away. But if they love you, they'll feel the loss deeply, and they may come back, not in a dramatic rush, but in small, hopeful steps. That return is everything. And here's one of the most beautiful, painful truths about avoidance in love. They often love you in silence, long before they can say it out loud. They carry you in their thoughts. They notice your moods. They feel your absence even if they can't explain why. But they don't announce it. They're waiting until it feels safe, until they're sure you won't drown them in expectations or abandon them when they open up. Love for them is a risk they don't take lightly. So if an avoidant tells you they love you, it wasn't a casual moment. It was a war they fought within themselves. And if they haven't said it yet, but they're still around, still showing up, still quietly caring, that might be their loudest "I love you" of all. So if you're with an avoidant and you suspect they love you, even if they haven't said the words, look at the details: their presence, their effort, their small acts of care, their awkward pauses and quiet returns. Loving an avoidant isn't about hearing sweet words every day. It's about learning their emotional language and seeing the love that hides beneath the silence. They may never be loud about their love, but when they love you in a way that is cautious, rare, and often very real. Just remember, their silence doesn't always mean they don't care. Sometimes it means they care too much and don't know how to show it. If this video helped you see things more clearly, give it a like, subscribe for more insights on love and attachment, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today.